Hello and welcome back to Amputated. This week I thought I would talk a little bit about what it's like to walk with a artificial limb or prosthetic, however you wish to say it. And yeah, because one thing I've always been asked, and I've been asked a lot over the years, is what does it feel like having a prosthetic, wearing it and having it on? And I've always sort of struggled answering that question. It's something that sort of I never think about too much. I mean, since I lost my leg at such a young age, it's sort of really been all I've known. But just, comparing it to my other leg, I mean, all I can really say is that it's just a strange, weird, odd feeling. I mean, for me it's sort of normal. I mean, it's become normal over the years, so it's not really that sort of different to me. I don't think of it as feeling any particular way other than it is what it is, So, but if you're new to it, it will be quite different, definitely quite a different feeling to having your leg. I mean, I can't really think of anything to compare it to as such, but yeah, it's definitely an odd feeling, and it'll be an odd sensation, sort of, because it's quite different. It's actually missing part of your leg, and you're sort of relying on this thing to hold you up. But yeah, I suppose give it time to sort of get yourself used to it and all, and yeah, it's just always a question I find difficult to answer. Others out there may be able to answer this better than me. I mean, if you're newly to it, or if I suppose losing it later in life, you may be able to sort of help other people out there and sort of what it's going to be like and sort of what to expect. Because for me, it's should be just normal. I mean, I suppose. The only thing I can sort of really go from is when I first had my amputation, I had a Symes amputation, and then I went to a below knee. And I can tell you that, it's quite a different feeling, very much a different feeling to what I was used to, and it did take me quite a bit of time to sort of able to walk again and get my balance and get back into anything again, because, I once had sort of quite a bit more of my leg, and then all of a sudden it's a lot shorter, prosthetic, I guess a lot heavier, quite a different feeling. Pressure is all in different places. That's sort of, I guess, another thing. I mean, you've got to see, I've also talked about this before, I believe, where the pressure is taken off in the leg itself. So it's going to be all a completely new feeling and completely strange to you. But I mean, of course, give it time, you wear it as much as you can when you can, even, just this, I suppose, sensation of it when you're sitting down, if you're not walking around, just having it on, standing, all that there's you got to get sort of used to. And I'm waving my arms around, it's crazy, sorry. Anyway, yes, moving on to actually walking with it, that's going to be another thing. It's going to be quite difficult, because you, I suppose, really do have to learn to walk again, which, for those of you losing it later on in life, that's going to be probably quite a real struggle and stressful at times. But, as hard as you may think it's going to be, don't let it get to you. Don't let you think, you're not going to be able to do anything you once did before, Because, you will be able to. I mean, you just got to give it time, practice as much as you can. And, just give it time, practice as much as you can. I mean, especially if you go to your limb centre, or where you go to get your prosthetic all fitted and everything, they have, I know the one I go to, and I'm sure where you go, they'll have raglan set up for you just to help, because they really do. I mean, and take it at your own pace. You don't need to overdo anything, or think you're gonna get right back and doing everything you can right the moment getting it, because you got to give yourself time to adjust, adapt, and get used to the feelings and all sorts and that there. It's can be quite a real struggle. I mean, I suppose there is quite a lot of things you also got to do and understand, and you got to be quite patient with it as well, because all of this, it can be quite difficult to come to terms with, but you just sort of got to set all, I suppose, that emotion aside and sort of think of what the positives are you have and work towards that. I mean, if there's something you love, if there's a sport or something you used to do that you loved so much, use that as sort of, your inspiration and goal is, I'm going to do that. Because, there's a lot of that you can help with. Now going back to, I do have some memories of when I first had my sinus amputation and learning to walk with that struggle there. For quite some time when I had it, I used to walk toe heel on my artificial leg actually. And, you may think, oh, that's quite strange and that. I mean, I suppose for a lot of you out there, if you don't actually have an artificial limb, I suppose, next time you go for a walk, actually think about each step you take. And, and whereabouts, how you do that, where pressure's taken in everything, how you step, which you step first. And, it's a struggle, because that's what you're going to have to do when you're learning to walk again. Because, I had to reteach myself, like my whole leg, brain, rewire it, so that I would walk toe heel naturally. And that does take some time. I mean, you have to, when you're walking, I had to constantly think toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. I mean heel toe. Gosh, I'm getting confused right now. Sorry about that. Heel toe. Because I guess that's how that is how you naturally walk. And again, you're losing it later on in life. It's probably something you've never thought about your whole life, not since you first stepped, and you probably have no sort of memories of that, or you might. But it's probably something you've never thought about before, and now all of a sudden, you're realising, oh, this is a struggle. But don't let it get to you like that. I mean, over time, it'll become completely natural, and you won't even think about it, and you'll be thinking, oh my gosh, why was I so silly thinking about it back then? And so it's something pretty cool, I guess, especially with how awesome limbs are getting now and how they're making them, is just going to get even better and much cooler. I mean, so I hope that sort of helps you. I mean, if you do have any questions you want to know more about learning to walk and how to walk, and I suppose just coming to terms with that there, please feel free to ask. I mean, if there's anything you want to know about me and my leg, please feel free, ask down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. If there's anything at all you want to know, please ask below. I mean, I'll be happy to talk about anything, about any experiences I've had over the years. I'm just still trying to think of now. I know I had one other thing I wanted to talk about with you, but I just, I can't think of it right now. Just remembered it. Sorry, yes. One other thing I did, well, my mum sort of did for me, is I think this was when I was about 19 or so. I mean, I had my leg for a few years already and sort of learning to walk, but one thing that I suppose struggled with was balance. That was another big thing. I mean, balance is probably going to be a struggle definitely at first, because all those of you with artificial legs may know, I mean, if you're like me, you can balance extremely well on your one good leg. I mean, that's if you got one amputation. I mean, if you got both, it'd be a little different. And then sort of your balance on your other leg may be a little bit not so great. I mean, I know mine is pretty terrible, but my mum actually got me into dancing and doing ballroom dancing, just to have something to do, I mean, to help also just with my natural walking, because when you're dancing you have to think about each dance step you're making, whether you have an artificial leg or not. I mean, if you have both legs, of course, you've got to think about the moves and where you're going to step and how you're going to step to do all that. So for me, that actually helped a lot with my natural walking as well, just walking, but also with my balance, and improved that dramatically. I mean, that definitely really helped, and I really got into ballroom dancing. I love ballroom dancing now, and surprisingly I do ballroom dancing better than those with all their limbs. So yeah, there you go. I mean, dancing may not be for you, but you know, there may be other things you can sort of get into just to help sort of build up, you know, I guess the muscles and, you know, sort of rethinking in how you walk and do it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. There's going to be some definitely hard times, and you're going to think, oh no, it may really bring you down a lot, but you gotta pick yourself up again, and you know, keep, you know, your friends, family close. They'll all help you and they'll be supportive, I'm sure. And you know, you can get through it. I mean, you will probably be amazed by yourself and what you can achieve and then accomplish, even though you have an artificial leg. And then, you know, years to come, you'll be probably think back to it and be like, wow, I mean, you know, I didn't even used to be able to do this, and now I don't even have to think about it. I just do it naturally. You know, it will become natural over time. So yeah. Again, yeah, I hope that sort of helps you with what it's like to walking with an artificial leg. I mean, sort of in overcoming it, and sort of, I guess, a couple of things you may need to know and, I guess, yeah, think about as you're learning to walk with an artificial leg. And yeah, I hope that helped. Sorry, I was quite sort of unprepared for today. Apologies for that. But I hope you enjoyed it, and yes, again, please get your questions in of anything you'd like to know, or see, or know more about. I do have a couple of ideas in the future. I guess sort of I can let you know probably more about my own artificial leg and how I lost that. If you want to know more about that, I mean, I've talked about it a little, but it's quite a long, somewhat boring, but maybe interesting story about different things that I've had to do with, numerous operations I've had and struggles I've had with my stump and leg and all sorts. But yes, yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, I shall see you next week for more Amputated. Bye bye.